really enjoy instructing. Even in my corporate jobs, I've always ended up being a trainer of some sort of new hires.
Hi there, and welcome to the Melody Music Studios interview series, where we get to know our teachers a little bit better. I'm Ashley. Today I'm here with Amber. Amber, thanks so much for joining with me today for this interview.
Thank you so much for having me today.
What instruments or voice types do you typically work with?
So I teach piano, and specifically in like the gospel and ear training style. And I do vocal training in musical theater and in gospel.
Beautiful. So what age levels or experience levels do you typically work with?
Beginning to intermediate. And I'll go to as young as about 6 or 7. And then there's no end to the age. You know, anybody can start learning an instrument at any age. So
fantastic. My first question is, what caused you to get into the world of music and maybe specifically teaching music?
So I grew up with a very musical family. My dad and my brother both play guitar. My grandmother, she's played piano since she was about 5. And my aunt, all of my aunts and uncles on my dad's side of the family, they sing. So I was introduced into music very early on. And with a religious background, we used that when my dad evangelized. We went to different churches and would perform in different ways, either with, our instruments or singing. And so from about 4 or 5, I started singing in front of people. And then around 9, I started getting interest in piano. And so I was able to get about 6 months worth of lessons, and my parents couldn't afford it anymore. So then I taught myself from that point. It's been a lifelong passion of mine. Like, no matter what, I always end up going back to music. And what I really enjoy about teaching is that there's like this aha moment with every single student, no matter what level you're at, that it just something clicks, that you've been working on so hard, a concept you couldn't understand, and then it clicks and you get that aha moment and you get this overwhelming joy because you've accomplished this with something that you love. And those moments are kind of what I live for whenever I'm teaching.
Beautiful. That's a great answer. And I think so many of us would, can empathize with that. Those are our favorite teaching moments, and also moments as performers too, where when
Yes.
we have that moment, like, that's the fingering that we needed, or that's the note, or that's the breath work that we needed. It's just
exactly.
It's a great moment to experience as a teacher, but also as a musician and performer too. So, and actually you sort of answered my next question, which was, do you come from a musical family? But it sounds like, yeah, music really runs in the gene pool over there.
It does, very much. My oldest daughter currently is learning to play the violin, but is teaching herself flute and piano on her own. So it's very ingrained in our genetics, I guess you could say. So it's a lot of fun.
That's wonderful. That's great.
Mm-hmm.
So my next question for you is, other than teaching music, do you have any other musical aspirations?
One day I would like to play the harp.
Wow.
Yes.
That's great.
I think harps are fascinating because they're pianos this way.
Yes, right.
All the strings are this way. And so it would be such a challenge for me to take what I know to do this way and switch it. And so that one day would be like a dream come true of mine, is to play a harp.
That is such a cool answer. I haven't heard that one yet, and it's probably my favorite yet. That is fantastic, and I wish you the best of luck with that. That's wonderful.
Thank you.
What other musical endeavors are you currently working on, or might you be working on in the future?
So I'm currently actually partnering with another instructor that works with melody music. She teaches violin and cello, and we do weddings together. We actually met last year when she started teaching my daughter, and we decided collaborating. So we've built this business where we actually play for weddings, different venue settings and stuff. So that's been a lot of fun to work on the last 12 months.
How exciting is that? Good for you guys. And actually, I just had the pleasure of interviewing Dawn yesterday, believe it or not. So, how cool is that? Small world.
Yes, she's awesome.
She is. She's great. So, my last question for you is who would you say are your musical inspirations?
I would say Andrew Lloyd Webber for sure. Whenever it comes to musical theater, Alan, I think it's Rinkin. I can never say his last name right. He does like all the Disney movies.
Yes.
The songwriting ability of those two men are phenomenal.
Right.
And pianists, I would say like Jim Brickman, the piano guys, though that type of style I really like. And so I will listen and try to kind of mimic and incorporate different techniques I hear that they use into my own playing.
Beautiful. Wonderful. Well, Amber, thank you so much for joining me today. I really appreciate it. And I'm sure that anyone who is watching or listening has absolutely loved getting to know you better and all of your beautiful, thoughtful responses. I really appreciate it. So
thank you.
That is it for today. And we're going to sign off and say until next time. And thanks so much, Amber.
Yes, absolutely. Bye.
Take you everywhere I go, and it feels like